Everyone, welcome back and thank you very much for sticking around. So today I'm going to be opening up the box from Bad Squiddo, and this should be the Feudal Japan set. So we're looking at lots of samurai warriors, onimushas, etc. So I'm just gonna, I did actually open it on the other side just to make sure there definitely was stuff in there, because I've never actually had anything from Japan before. Right, so we get this lovely message from Annie at Bad Squiddo Games. That's fantastic. And what's this? Oh, that's awesome. I don't know what that is. So a lot of these I'm not aware of. And me being me, I tend to order stuff, forget what I... Whoops. Oops. Yeah. That's going to be... Alright, hopefully that's okay. You can still see everything. So I tend to forget what it is I actually order, which is good because it makes everything a nice little surprise for me. So I'll just put the packaging over there, and it looks like I've got absolutely tons. So let's have a look. Now, I did actually get the website up and open so I can just double check everything that I have. So I believe it's pretty much, let's put the website there. We've got lovely packaging actually. So this is the Honor Bugaisha, Naginata and Yumi, and looks like there's another one there as well, or unless that's three names, I'm not too sure. But they are wearing traditional samurai armor, which is quite good. Oni Bugaisha with katanas, different type of sword. We have the Shinobi sisters. They've got the sculptor there as well. These are beautiful. Shinwackers, or hockey players, as I would call that. Yes, we need to find the pets, Carlos, so let's find the pets. I haven't found the pets yet. Tomo Gozen with bodyguards. And looks like someone's dual wielding katanas. One katana and another. I really like the look of that one actually. That might go to the top of the pile. Here we go. Here we go. Here's the pets. Yeah, Shinobi Sister sounds awesome, doesn't it? So let's have a look at the pets. So we've got the Noble Assistants, Bushi Doggy, and Shogun Meow. Okay, that is brilliant names. Bushi Doggy. Bushi Dogi. I do know a little bit about Japanese pronunciation, so hopefully I'm getting it right. Handmaidens, Hoyo Masako. And these ones, they're just wearing absolutely beautiful robes, and I really like the look of that. Now all of these do need bases, which is not a problem because I've got millions of bases. Well, not millions, but I've got a lot, so I'll probably be getting some bases out. Is there any in particular so far that you would like me to open? Just let me know. So if you can't remember the names, just describe it best and I'll do my best to make sure I get the right one. So these are the Onimusha. Again, some absolutely brilliant designs there. And here's one that I was quite interested in. This is Lady Ichika and the Vipers. So these ones, all of them. Carlos is going to hold his peace, always overexcited. No, it's okay, Carlos. You're allowed to pick on some. And this one, I'm not too sure what this one is, so I'm just going to have a quick look at the... I don't know whether I've been given one for free. Now that looks like one of the widows, which is not in the original pack. So it looks like I got something a little bit extra there. But I'm also just going to go Oh yeah, so that's really cool. I got an extra one. Yes. Oh, that's fantastic. The Widows was actually one of the ones that I wanted to get next. So the plan was I was gonna get the. I've got quite a love of feudal Japan, particularly the Ronin, Shinobi, and Samurai eras. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I really love it. So being able to see these is great. Now, the ones that I want to get next, basically, I'm a completist, so I want to complete everything. So the Blood Sorceress, the Onibugaisha Naginatas, the Widows itself, Onimusha Command, and Onimusha Veterans will probably, yeah, it's gonna bring a total up to about £50. So I think next payday, I'm definitely going to be getting some more. But these are lovely. So anyone got any particular ones that you want me to put together? So I'm going to get some super glue out. I'm going to get some bases, and we'll get them on bases, and we'll probably do a bit of priming as well. Who knows, we might even do a bit of painting. So got my super glue ready. Let's get some bases. But I did say I have a lot of bases, so the hand signing, it does feel, I do love the fact that with small producers, they everything does feel very, very personal. I think I'm going to get the Widow open. So, which is probably a bad idea because she's got the least surface area to actually attach to a base, but I think we'll get the Widow open. I think we have to get the doggies and Shogun Meow out as well. And the assistants. Which ones are the assistants? Oh, right, the noble assistants, the dogs, yes, the pets. Okay, well, we're going to get the pets out. Everybody loves pets. So, and I think what I'll do is I will get kind of like I like the idea of the Shinobi sisters as well, so let's do the Shinobi sisters. So there is tons of plastic. I always keep these handy as well. I think these are really useful to have. Be one of those things where it's probably a case of you could actually just send these back to actually save on plastic. I never throw stuff like this away. I've got drawers over there, and it's stuffed with packaging, because I just don't like throwing packaging away, especially when it's plastic. The idea is if I can reuse it, then it's not single use. And this is a brand new super glue, so good to hear it, Carlos. So is everyone else having a good Saturday so far? Bushy doggy. You lost your glue, Pete the Priest. That's not good. Oddly enough, I lost glue as well. I was putting together all the Curse City miniatures the other day, and I was just thinking to myself that at the end of the day, I thought I need to get some more plastic cement. And then oddly enough, in a dream this morning, I actually woke up thinking to myself, I got plastic cement recently, and I'm trying to work out where it is, because I've got that, which I know is just about barely running out, but I also got some of the Tamiya stuff, which has a little brush, and I can't think for the life of me where it is. So after the stream, I'm going to have a good look. And Kat's having a nice Saturday morning as well. Does anyone have any plans for the weekend at all? have to hold this one in place because I've got a very... So Carlos has had an early workout. Is that a workout at home, or is that, did you go to the gym this morning or have a run? Oh, the gyms are still closed, of course. Do you still run with the with your mask on as well? Oh, cats! I'm jealous, cat. D&D and Pathfinder 2. I've never actually played Pathfinder or Pathfinder 2, so. But the more I hear about it, the more good it sounds. I'm getting my garden dug up next weekend. The reason for it being dug up is basically I live right next to a small stream at the back of my house. So when it rains, the garden gets very, very waterlogged. So what I'm having it dug up for is basically to add some more drainage. And once that's done, the rules in the UK allow 6 people to meet in the garden. So I've suggested to my group that we meet in my garden because it's big enough and I've got the tables and I've got the chairs, and if the weather holds and it's like this, we'll do some outdoor D&D, which I think will be really good. And I've not played D&D for well over a year. I was taking a break before lockdown. Right, so I've got those 5 put together. Have I got everything? Yes, so that's 5 minis put together. I'm going to keep all this stuff safe and pop it in there. And I'm just going to let that sit. Now the Shinobi Sisters I'm going to leave to one side because there's not a great deal of surface touching the base there. So I really do want that to set well. What I will also do is, where did I put that? So the wood elf that I was showing Hamish earlier, I'd like to get that primed today as well. So after the stream, I'll aim to paint that up as part of my Goblin inspiration. Magnets on a Necron Ghost Ark. So what sort of magnets have you got? Because I use, what I've been doing, I've been using magnets for my storage. So I put magnets underneath the base. That way I can store them up. It's something that I've done on my YouTube channel. But I've got these really, really small magnets which get everywhere. So they're quite good to use. And then I've got slightly larger ones which I use for the Warhammer minis, which I cannot find at all. Let's have a quick look at the Ghost Ark while I'm waiting for these minis to dry. Oh yeah. So where are you wanting to put the magnets then? I did not know you could get magnet tape. See, these magnets here are very, very strong. I mean, basically, they even stick to my scissors. They're also something that I do recommend you keep them away from children and pets, because children and pets eat those. They never come out of your system. They will actually do a lot of damage. So I also picked up some magnets from a shop called the Magnet Stores, or the Magnet Company I think it was, and ironically the magnetism is absolutely awful. I don't know how they could call it like that. Change between the two. Yeah, Neodyne, if I pronounced that correctly. Right, that is looking like I've got quite a good collection. So let's get these sprayed. I'll move these ones out of the way so they are safe. And place your bets now. Will the airbrush work today or not? That's looking good. A little bit of water first, just to make sure I don't make an idiot of myself. That's good. My PSI is a little bit high. So, I'm going to work with a black primer first. And I know it sounds really silly, but I would prefer to work with my grey primer. However, Games Workshop has started producing all their miniatures in the same grey, as that's my grey colour. So I haven't been able to see what they actually supposed to look like, or if they're actually properly primed or not. So I've been switching to a bit of black primer first. Get one of my gloves. Right. Hopefully this will work first time. So everyone got their fingers crossed for me, please. Ah, that's good. And it's going on beautifully, and that's what happens when you spend the majority of a meeting cleaning your airbrushes. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. So let's get the widow done. I still think I have the PSI turned up a little bit too much. And Doggy, which to be honest I've got a feeling I might end up painting first, because this looks like a lot of fun. Just trying to get underneath the miniature now. There's a lot of angles I got to do on this one. So while I'm here, and I just want to ask this question before I go to Hamish, is I know that Hamish does some gaming streams as well, and I've recently got a old-fashioned arcade stick, and I've been playing a lot of old-fashioned arcade games basically. Would anyone be interested in me doing a gaming stream, perhaps after one of Hamish's midweek gaming streams? Just out of curiosity. I mean, when I say it will be retro, we are talking stuff like Golden Axe, which is early 90s, I think. So it's just something that I'm thinking of. Cool. Alright, what I will do with these is I will go over them again once the first coat is dry, and I'm going to add a little bit more primer first. Excellent, Pete. So, I mean, to be honest with you, my thing now with finishing work is I finish work and then I play Street Fighter for a bit, and the cool thing is I'm now playing it with an arcade stick, which is completely different to doing it with keyboard and mouse or even a control pad. I think it's a hell of a lot better personally. All the buttons are buttons, you don't have any triggers. And then I also picked up, because I was enjoying Street Fighter so much, I then thought I'd pick up Mortal Kombat as well. So it probably will be a higher rating stream, so an adult stream maybe. But I'll need to speak to Hamish about it, of course. But might be something a bit different. Cool. Right, so I think those are pretty much done. Yeah, it's a funny thing with Mortal Kombat, because I always preferred playing Street Fighter, even back when I was a teenager playing it in the arcades. I always preferred Street Fighter. Mortal Kombat was just very, very different, and I think it relies a lot more on the moves. I mean, when I've been playing Mortal Kombat recently, it literally is I'm just doing the same punch or kick, because that's all I can figure out. But doing the actual specials is very, very difficult. So I think I'd have to get good at Mortal Kombat before I even think about streaming it. Right, so colours next. So with the Bushido doggy, just going to put my fan on. Proof that I'm a big lover of pink stuff as well, so even my fan is pink. So with the doggy, I might go with your typical doggy colours. So it would be like a cream and a tan, I think. With the armour, I'll try and do something a bit more traditional, samurai armour. In the meantime, I'm just going to quickly Google samurai armour, just for some inspiration more than anything. If any of you are in the UK and you ever go near Leeds, I do recommend going to the Leeds Armoury, which is a museum, and it's got armour pieces from all over the world. They even let you have a go on a crossbow as well. I actually found a website called Samurai Store, so if you are a samurai and you need to get some new weapons and armour, you can obviously just go there and they'll sort you out, which is good. Right, so with samurai armour, I'm probably going to go a theme with red. It's kind of a deeper red than normal, so I think corn red will do really, really well. Gonna mix that in with some black, which we've already got, but we'll use non-oil as a shade. Now the two colours I was thinking of for the doggy was like a tan colour and a cream colour. So we've got a medium flesh tone which looks brilliant as a tan colour, and for cream, wink wink wink, I'm thinking of Pale Sand by Villeco, so I think we'll do that. So that's going to be your dog colours. Yeah, I wouldn't want to run out of throwing stars. I mean, basically, if you don't go around picking them up again, then you know, and it's so easy to lose. So these are going to be my doggy colours, and these ones are going to be my samurai armour colours. Right, so just need a palette. Going to move everything to one side. And doggy. Okay, now these miniatures are metal. So normally a lot of people find very nice to work with metal miniatures. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all the doggy parts with pale sand first. Probably do a couple of coats, and then what I'll do is I'll use the tan first of all. I'm going to wait for the paint to dry first because it's still not fully dry. But yeah, I'm going to paint the actual dog fur entirely with pale sand first, and then I'm going to go over most areas with the medium flesh tone to get the nice doggy look. Having a look at that samurai store again, they do actually have armors for sale, which is cool. They are actually based in Japan as well. Right. So at this stage I'm not really bothered about making a mess. All going to get cleaned up later. So I'm just trying to get to the lowest part of the dog so I can actually basically splodge the paint everywhere. Smoosh it all over the place, I think is the actual term. Look at the head as well. Later on, once I get to the end, I can start doing detailing such as the eyes, the nose, blending in the colour of the nose into the rest of the snout. I do actually run a dog painting business, normally over Christmas on Etsy, where people ask me to paint their dogs and put them in a snow globe. That's models of the dogs, not their actual dogs. I wouldn't put those in a snow globe, that's not nice. But the miniatures that I normally work with are a lot bigger, the ones that I 3D print myself. So I've got a bit of a dog painting experience. See, I'm literally painting in front of a fan as well, so this is helping the paint dry once it's on. These are absolutely amazing as well. I'm loving the Shinobi Sisters. For Carlos, so the first colour is going to be this medium flesh tone. So at the moment I've painted the what will pretty much be the recesses in a pale sand, so it's like a very cream. So the mixture is going to be cream and medium flesh tone. So I'll do the medium flesh tone to get the tan colour, leaving some of the cream just to basically stick out, so it looks like there's some sort of semblance of a pattern. Yep, hopefully it will be nice. We'll see what happens when I'm done. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm just going to get the other colours shook up and ready. Yeah, it's always good to have a plan. It's important to keep it simple as well, so like I say, I've only looked at 3 actual paints and 1 wash, and once I've done part of it I can always reassess. So that's the tan. I think what I will do is a second coat of the cream, just to really block in the colour. Right, so if anyone who is hanging around, I'm going to ask what you would like to see next week. So I could either continue painting Feudal Japan, or if you're interested in something a little bit more mainstream, I'm going to be looking at the Cursed City characters as well. So like I say, I always leave it up to you. Is there any particular appetite for more of the bad Squiddo stuff? or would you like to see some of the Games Workshop stuff painted as well? Sounds like a good plan, Carlos. Let's stick with Bad Squiddo, especially seeing as it looks like Hamish will be doing Bad Squiddo during the week. We might as well make it a Bad Squiddo week. So, gotta admit, I spent a lot of time on Bad Squiddo's website just salivating at all the stuff that they do. I really want to back the Kickstarter, but I have spent way too much this month. Was Car City something that you would want to have then, Carlos? Yeah, I got very lucky, so I didn't think it would be discontinued the way that it was. I've got Indomitus and I still haven't got it open yet. I've had it since I had it pre-ordered. Yeah, I agree. I think I got caught up with the hype last year because there was a lot of 40k releases, and I've always been drawn more towards fantasy. I mean, I got very into the whole Space Wolves lore and everything, so when it comes to reading the Warhammer books, I tend to lean towards the 40k stuff. But when it comes to the models, um, when I first got into Warhammer, Wood Elves were my thing. When I've got back into Warhammer after all these years, Wood Elves don't exist, and I'm sorry, but the Sylvaneths are just tree men. They're not Wood Elves to me. They're ornaments. So I've got a feeling that this is the year where Wood Elves will be making a comeback. So we've seen a couple of models come into the line, and it's something I'm looking forward to because I haven't painted Wood Elves since early 2000s, so we're looking at 20 years. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Wood Elf releases. I've got a feeling it's happening this year because I think they're starting to build up the actual name of the elves, as well as starting to put some story in. Okay, this feels mostly dry. I don't want too much on my brush though, and I'm starting to have a little bit of second thoughts about this colour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the tan on the top half of the dog and the cream on the bottom half. It's kind of like a colour scheme that one of my own dogs has. That's Gwen, who is a Chipagua. And if you've never heard of a Chipagua, it's basically a Shih Tzu, a Pug and a Chihuahua in one. She is a mongrel, but she is a beauty. But I think it's quite a common colour scheme, and so far I'm actually liking how it's turning out. We'll do something very similar with the tail. It's an upturned tail as well, so we end up leaving a bit of a line of cream. I'll admit I'm not using my best brush at the moment. But sometimes it just felt right using this one. I think I might add a brown wash to this as well, so we can actually pick up more of the fur details. Hydrate! Thank you, Pete. I'm hydrating with coffee. Right, so I've done it so he kind of has a crest of cream fur running down from his chin to his chest. So come Christmas time I do end up painting quite a lot of dogs. In fact, it's all I end up painting. Which beard did you get? Le Goudel. I hope I said that right, probably haven't. I've got a history of basically upsetting French people when I really don't want to. See, I can't stomach most beers at all. Well, lagers I just find gassy. I don't mind having a shandy though, it's just not much of a drinker. So the idea of having whiskies and minis is probably not a good one. Spices sound good. I like, I know we had this conversation earlier, but I like drinking gin, especially flavoured gin. And Bombay Sapphire is probably my favourite, but there's this, I don't know where you get it from, but it's called East Gin, and it's basically got black peppercorns and Thai lemongrass in it and infused, and it's really nice. But I could only buy it when I'm actually on at duty free, so I need to be flying somewhere. I don't know if you can actually get it in the shops. I've not seen it. It's probably one of those ones where you can order it directly from Bombay Sapphire. Right, just turning off the fan for a bit. But earlier when you were talking about gin to Hamish, I quickly googled where did gin come from, and ended up going down a rabbit hole of London Sapphire. I also, on my honeymoon, which I spent in Minorca, I visited a gin factory in Mahon, and they had all sorts of gin in Mahon, and I picked up a lemon one which was just beautiful, especially when you mixed it with Coke. So even my wife liked it, and my wife doesn't drink at all. But it's just one of those things, you just get a pint glass, fill it up with Coke, add some of this lemon gin to it, and ice, and it's probably the most refreshing drink I've ever had. Okay, so I'm going to work on the armour pieces now, and I'm not too massively worried about this being it's mostly dry. I've only got about 9 minutes left of the stream to go as well, so I don't know whether to yes, Carlos, I'm going for the traditional red. When I was doing a bit of research, rather than going for a typical bright red, I've gone for a much more dulled corn red, which I think matches, and that's dead. That ink is not good at all. Something always seems to go wrong, doesn't it? What we'll do, I'm going to get some of this red. I'm just going to put it in there. It does fly, cat. I think sometimes I wonder how I'm able to fill up an entire hour, but I think the thing I most appreciate is the fact that you guys stick around as well, so I always very, very thankful for that, so thank you guys. What are you having for lunch, Carlos? Thank you, Kat. I still can't consider myself an artist. I mean, I actually consider you an artist because you just do things so much more inspiring than I do. I always just feel like I'm just painting by numbers in a 3D model. If my art teachers knew that I was on Twitch 25 years after leaving school and painting, they would, well, first of all, they probably wouldn't know who I was because I was not good at art at school at all. But it's funny how there's a lot of things from my school years which I never really appreciated until I was an adult, and painting is one of them. Thank you, Carlos. Okay, apparently cat makes the rules. Can't really argue with that. There's actually quite a few artists and people that I follow on Twitter whose art I would love to have hanging in this room. So I'm hoping that once I've got some money saved together, I'm gonna ask for some potential commissions in the future. I think it would be nice to have something a little bit more interesting behind me than that wall. You might also notice that I do not use a handle either, even though I seem to have two, possibly three. I've never actually bought one of the grip handles, and I can't seem to get away with using them. Right. Oh, didn't realise you couldn't actually see what I was doing. Right, so this probably isn't looking as good on cam, and it's still got quite a bit of a way to go. We have 3 minutes left, so if it's okay with everyone, I might literally just stick around until I get the last bits done. Yeah, Pete. So on Twitch, I watch Michael Mordor. Quite a few of the goblins are now streaming on Twitch as well, and I'll admit I don't have time to watch all of them too. Sometimes Tulay's a good one to watch. Tulay normally does Monday nights and Friday nights. Her Friday night stream tends to be really good because I don't think she has work the next day, so she doesn't care what time she finishes. With her being in Holland and an hour ahead of me, she tends to. Well, I tend to go to sleep before she does even. So, but she will love talking about Star Wars, um, the minis that she's painting, which is brilliant. Philip's an amazing painter, and he's only just started streaming. I follow Hamish a lot because the times that he streams tends to be when I'm actually at work. I normally work 7:30 till 3:30, so my work computer goes on that monitor and Hamish goes on there, and it tends to be a case of I don't talk as much, but I will be there and I can watch him play Baldur's Gate or Paint a Mini. I really like his Thursday show because that one pretty much sees out my day. Um, and then you got stuff on YouTube. So I'm predominantly a YouTuber. This is me basically dipping my toes in the water with streaming. I didn't see any point in me starting a new channel because there's so many new channels that start up. So I asked Hamish if I could stream on his channel, and he said yes. So the good news is it gives me a video that I can upload to my YouTube channel because I just download the video on demand and upload it. And Hamish registers some more views, hopefully. Yeah, it's it's quite interesting because Hamish and I just seem to have clicked straight away. Obviously, he's invited me on his show a few times, and I really enjoy talking to you guys as well, especially when I'm on the show, and hope that it comes across quite well in the when we do the handovers as well. You know, the fact that we have a chat, ask how each of his day is, and then he'll finish his stream and I'll start mine. And the fact that you guys stick around as well is great. But I do appreciate that not everyone has time to watch Twitch all day. And if you are going to watch Twitch all day, probably more interesting things to watch. But I just love hanging out with you guys. I love collaborating with Hamish. You know, I'm really looking forward to the day that me and him can actually meet in person and probably have a game of Blood Bowl and travel down to Mighty Lancer games together and just hang out. So I'll plan to go up to Scotland to visit him sometime as well, once all the pandemic is over and everything. So I've just, let's see how well you can see this. This is probably not going to be very good, but I've just added a wash to the red armour and I'm quite happy with how that came out. Now the only bits I really need to do is add a bit of colour to the nose and the eyes, and I'm in two minds about putting a wash on the fur. I think with the wash you'll be able to see a lot more of the fur, and I'll probably go with a brown, maybe watered down wash rather than a straight brown. So yeah, I think I'll do that. We'll do that quickly. So let's go get some Agrax Earthshade. Shake it up a bit. Oh, if you wonder why I stick my hand over there, there's a... Actually, that's a very good point. Maybe a sepia. Odd enough, I did actually pick up sepia. It wasn't Agrax Earthshade I picked up. So let's go with a... Yeah, I think that's a good point. Good one, Carlos. We'll go with sepia. I might add just a touch of water to it as well, though. Let's try on a leg first. It is 3 minutes past 12, so what I'm going to do is, I think that sepia wash has worked brilliantly. Thank you, Carlos. So I'll let that dry. I will pack up all my stuff and I'll probably post this up on Twitter and I'll tag some people in. So Pete the Priest, are you on Twitter at all? Because if you are, I will happily tag you into the photo as well. So thank you very much for sticking around. So yeah, thank you ever so much for spending an hour with me. I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to look at some more of Bad Squiddo's Feudal Japan minis next week. I think seeing as I've got them painted up, well, primed now, I think we'll look at the Shinobi Sisters. I think they look really interesting. We've also got the Widow primed as well. So today I'm going to be doing a bit of a tidy and a resort of my room. So because I've got a load more electronics that I need to sort over there, USB connections basically. And in the meantime, thank you ever so much. So I shall see you all later. Ta-ta now. Have a good weekend.